ట్రాన్స్లేషన్ ఉంటుంది కదా, జర్మన్ లాంగ్వేజ్లో ట్రాన్స్లేషన్ ఉంటే మంచిదే కదా. Translation? I have to pause or you will just do it there? Okay. That's all right. You can do it. Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jashodanandana Jashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Sita Ram Lakshmana Hanuman Sita Ram Lakshmana Hanuman Jaya Lakshmana Hanuman Ram Jaya Lakshmana Hanuman Jaya Prahlad Narasimha Prahlad Narasimha Prahlad Narasimha Jaya Prahlad Narasimha Prahlad Narasimha Jaya Prahlad Narasimha Narasimha Jaya Prahlad Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय श्रीला प्रभुपाद श्री श्री राधा माधव भगवान की जय, जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय, सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की जय, लक्ष्मी नृसिंहदेव भगवान की जय, प्रहलाद महाराज की जय, श्री गौर निताई की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा। Am I audible? Is it loud enough? Hare Krishna. We are reading today from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 11, verse number 23. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayo Mudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naischiki. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Avyaktasya Prameyasya Avyaktasya Prameyasya Nana Shakti Udayasya Cha Navai Chikirsitam Tata Navai Chikirsatam Tata Kovedata Svasambhavam Avyaktasya Prameyasya Nana Shakti Udayasya Cha Nana Shaktya Udayasya Cha Navai Chikirsitam Tata Kovedata Svasambhavam Avyaktasya Prameyasya Nana Shakti Udayasya Cha Nana Shakti Udayasya Cha Navai Chikirsitam Tata Navai Chikirsitam Tata Kovedata Svasambhavam. Prabhuji. Avyaktasya Prameyasya Nana Shakti Udayasya Cha Navai Chikirsitam Tata Kovedata Svasambhavam. Mataji. Avyaktasya Prameyasya Nana Shakti Udayasya Cha Navai Chikirsitam Tata Kovedata Svasambhavam. Avyakta Sakta Preyasya Nana Shakti Udayasya Cha Navai Chikirsitam Tata Kovedata Svasambhavam. Avyaktasya Prameyasya Nana Shakti Udayasya Cha Navai Chikirsitam Tata Kovedata Svasambhavam. Avyaktasya Prameyasya Nana Shakti Udayasya Cha Navai chikishatam tata ko vedata swasambhavam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: the absolute truth, transcendence, is never subject to the understanding of imperfect sensory endeavor, nor is he subject to direct experience. He is the master of varieties of energies, like the full material energy, and no one can understand his plans or action. Therefore, it should be concluded that although he is the original cause of all causes, no one can know him by mental speculation. Purport: the question may be raised, since there are so many varieties of philosophers theorizing in different ways, which of them is correct? The answer is that the absolute truth, transcendent, is never subject to direct experience or mental speculation. The mental speculator may be called Dr. Frog. The story is that Frog in a 3-foot well wanted to calculate the length and breadth of the Atlantic Ocean on the basis of his knowledge of his own well. But it was an impossible task for Dr. Frog. A person may be a great academician, scholar, or professor, but he cannot speculate and expect to understand the absolute truth, for his senses are limited. The cause of all causes, the absolute truth, can be known from the absolute truth himself and not by our ascending process to reach him. When the sun is not visible at night or when it is covered by a cloud in the day, it is not possible to uncover it, either by bodily or by mental strength or by scientific instruments, although the sun is there in the sky. No one can say that he has discovered a torchlight so powerful that if one goes on a roof and focuses the torchlight on the night sky, the sun will then be seen. There is no such torchlight, nor is it possible. The word avyakta, unmanifested, in this verse indicates that the absolute truth cannot be manifested by any strain of so-called scientific advancement of knowledge. Transcendence is not the subject matter of direct experience. The absolute truth may be known in the same way as the sun covered by a cloud or covered by night. For when the sun rises in the morning in its own way, then everyone can see the sun, everyone can see the world, and everyone can see himself. This understanding of self-realization is called Atma Tattva. Unless, however, one comes to this point of understanding Atma Tattva, one remains in the darkness in which he was born. Under the circumstances, no one can understand the plan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord is equipped with varieties of energies, as stated in the Vedic literature. Parasya Shaktir Vividhaiva Shruyate. He is equipped with the energy of eternal time. Not only does he have the material energy which we see and experience, but he has also many reserve energies that he can manifest in due course of time when necessary. The material scientist can simply study the partial understanding of the varieties of energy. He can take up one of the energies and try to understand it with limited knowledge, but still it is not possible to understand the absolute truth in full by dint of material science. No material scientist can foretell what is going to happen in the future. The Bhakti Yoga process, however, is completely different from the so-called scientific advancement of knowledge. A devotee completely surrenders unto the Supreme, who reveals himself by his causeless mercy. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Dadhami Buddhi Yogam Tam. The Lord says, I give him intelligence. What is that intelligence? Yenamam upayantite. The Lord gives one the intelligence to cross over the ocean of nescience and come back home, back to Godhead. In conclusion, the cause of all causes, the absolute truth of the Supreme Brahman, cannot be understood by philosophical speculation. But he reveals himself to his devotee because the devotee fully surrenders unto his lotus feet. Bhagavad Gita is therefore to be accepted as a revealed scripture spoken by the absolute truth himself when he descended to this planet. If any intelligent man wants to know what God is, he should study this transcendental literature under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. Then it is very easy to understand Krishna as he is. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Read the translation one more time. The absolute truth, transcendence, is never subject to the understanding of imperfect sensory endeavor, nor is he subject to direct experience. He is a master of the varieties of energies, and like the full material energy, and no one can understand his plans or actions. Therefore, it should be concluded that although he is the original cause of all causes, no one can know him by mental speculation. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Vartaman Guru Vrinda ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Hare Krishna. My humble obeisances to all the devotees here at New Simhachalam. Such a pleasure to be here. Before I start, I seek all of your blessings. Vancha kalpatarubhescha kripasindhuvevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna. So if I'm fast, please let me know. Sometimes I tend to speak very fast, so you can just stop me in between. I was just speaking at New Mayapur, and devotees were complaining that I'm speaking too fast, so just correct me if I speak very fast. So this is a very beautiful verse. In fact, the whole life of Dhruva Maharaj is very, very inspiring. A 5-year-old boy having the darshan of the Lord in 6 months, very motivating and inspiring for devotees, that if we have the determination, anything is possible. But here, coming to this chapter, it shows us a different shade of Dhruva Maharaj. Here we see that Dhruva has finished his tapasya. He saw Lord face to face. He comes back to his father. Now he becomes the king. He's got married. He's settled. Everything is wonderful in his life. But then his brother Uttama is killed. And now, he gets angry on the yakshas, that how dare they kill his brother. So usually our expectation will be that if somebody is a devotee of the Lord, in every situation and circumstance, he will be cool and composed. But you see, that is the beauty of Bhagavatam. It shows us the ideal and it also shows us the real. Like and that way we can learn so many lessons. By this we understand that in this world there are so many temptations and distractions. One cannot be relaxed even after coming to a particular stage. So to speak about Dhruva Maharaj, who has seen the Lord face to face. That means seeing the Lord face to face does not guarantee that for the rest of the eternity you will not be tempted or distracted. That means for all the time a devotee needs to be conscious, active, alert, and anytime anything can happen. So Dhruva Maharaj, he saw Lord face to face, but certain situation has come in his life where he is instigated. So one has to be so careful. Stimulation in Krishna consciousness can come from any direction. But to continue that bhakti, right attitude is required. Sustaining in bhakti requires right attitude. We may be stimulated by, sometimes negatively stimulated, like we see Dhruva Maharaj. His stimulation came out of negative situation in life because his stepmother rebuked him. Okay, but his mother and Narad Muni directed that in a positive way. But now to sustain it, he has to maintain the right attitude, right behavior in the right association of devotees. So here we see that he goes to Alakapuri and he starts killing the yakshas. So the yakshas are throwing arrow on him. He is throwing arrow on the yakshas. Meanwhile, the yakshas create an illusion. Looks like Dhruva is getting, defeated by them. At that time, the sages, they start praying for Dhruva and they remind him of Narayan Astra. So now Dhruva invokes the Narayan Astra. And when Dhruva invokes the Narayan Astra, which is so powerful, the yakshas are all agitated. They are running hither and thither for life, but Dhruva is not leaving them. He's cutting their limbs and he's killing them. I mean, like unlimitedly, He's not even allowing them to escape. At this moment, what happens now? The superiors intervene. Immediately, Swayambhu Manu, who is Dhruva's grandfather, he comes into picture and he starts giving good advices to Dhruva. So, our verse for today is a conversation between Swayambhu Manu and Dhruva Maharaj, where Swayambhu Manu gives him very good advices. He says, my dear boy, excessive anger is a sinful path of ignorance. So this anger is not good for you. This is a sinful path. Don't do this. Dhruva is not convinced. Look, this is not befitting to our dynasty because I am Manu. Today, why are we called Manava? The descendants of Manu. And there is Manu Samhita. Manu himself has written the laws, how a human being is supposed to live. So what will people say? You are my grandson and you are not following the rules yourself. Come on. This is not befitting our dynasty. You shouldn't do this. Dhruva is not convinced. Now says, Dhruva, you are killing people, but the bodies of the people are the temple of the Lord, right? So how can you kill the temple of the Lord? Don't do that. Dhruva is not convinced. Well, you have seen the Lord face to face. So you are supposed to be going to Vaikuntham. So people are looking at you. So you have to be an example. How can you do that? Okay, stop it. Dhruva is not convinced. Come on, focus on pleasing the Lord. Dhruva is not convinced. How can I focus? My brother was killed and I am angry. Then Swayambhu Manu says, well, the Yakshas have not killed your brother. And even if you think Yaksha has killed, only one Yaksha killed. Why are you punishing the others? No, I'm going to destroy the whole dynasty. No. They are not the cause. These Yakshas are not the cause of the death of your brother. Then who is the cause? It is the Lord. Oh, is it? How the Lord is the cause? The Lord is the cause of everything. Today, how can Lord decide? That means, is Lord partial? Did Lord want my brother to be killed? No. The Lord is very neutral. See, all this is coming in the verses, previous verses. I'm not making it up. It's just that I'm giving you what must be the question asked by Dhruva, in reply to which Swayambhu Manu is trying to explain things, right? Like we see in the Gita also. There are some questions which are asked and there is something in between the line. So then he's saying, oh, the Lord is neutral, is it? Then why did he get my brother killed? Oh, no, it is only because of karma. Because of somebody's karma, sometimes they get good reactions, sometimes bad reactions. Oh, that means, Lord, everything is not under the Lord's control. No, Lord is under the control. He decides. But you said no just now that Lord gives according to karma. No, the Lord is the cause of everything. Lord is the cause of everything. And now, the previous sloka he starts, which you must have completed yesterday, 22nd verse, where Swayambhu Manu is saying that, many people have many philosophies, like the people who believe in Mimamsaka philosophy, they say that dualities are there because of karma. Those who are Lokayatas, they say that these dualities are there because of Swabhava. Those who are Vyavaharikas, they say that duality is because of time, Kala. And those who are the astrologers, they may say that pain or pleasure comes according to your fate, Daivam. And those who are Vatsyayana, they may say that it comes because of Kama. But my dear boy, all these philosophies are not correct. Lord is ultimate cause of everything. Oh, so did the Lord made my brother kill? No. His energies did it. The Lord's energies did it. So now, even if you say everything, I'm not convinced. My ego, that my brother is killed, I'm not able to satiate my ego. Now Swayambhu Manu says, come on, turn your attention to the Lord. Try to come back to your constitutional position. You are a Bhakta of the Lord. The Bhakta of the Lord does not behave like this. You have to control your anger. And if you are getting angry, that means you are still in the bodily conception of life. Come on, give up this anger. So here in this verse, he talks about the absolute truth. How all these philosophies are wrong. Krishna is the absolute truth. Everything happens according to his plan. So this is a very wonderful verse. And one very big takeaway from this whole episode of Dhruva Maharaj is about the disproportionate anger of Dhruva Maharaj, right? Because we have such expectation from Dhruva, Prahalad, Ambarisha, Parikshita, Vibhishana, these are all amazing devotees. And we try to learn from every behavior, that they manifest. But here we see Dhruva has manifested unproportionate anger. Killing one yaksha who killed his brother would have sufficed, but he gets very angry. And when we read all this, we understand that how temptations and distractions in this material world can be so powerful. We see even in the life of Yudhishthir Maharaj. He is Dharmaraj, amazing devotee. But at the heat of the moment, he just gambles everything off. We see Arjuna, amazing devotee. He heard the whole Gita. But when his son Abhimanyu dies, he starts crying, and gets full rage. Though he heard Gita just before that. So this example shows that we need to continuously practice Krishna consciousness and continuously hear and associate with the devotees to sustain that mood. Because sometimes we may go high, full charged up, and sometimes we go down. And one thing very special here, Swayambhu Manu talks in the coming verses in 31 and 32 is about anger. We also talk about these anarthas, kama, krodha, moha, mada, matsarya. How this anger is so dangerous. As devotees, we should be so careful. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Trividham, narkesdyam. Narka, there is 3 doors to narka. If you want to see, there are 3 doors. One is lust, one is anger, and one is greed. So we don't want to go through that door. We have to be so careful. Actually, Krishna consciousness is so easy. Krishna gives the essence in Bhagavad Gita 9.34. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mamevaishasi yuktavevam atmana madparayana. Simply you think about me, you pay obeisances to me, you remember me, and you can come back to me. But to remember Krishna, we need to remember, but to remember there should be space for Krishna. Our mind and heart is so full of different other anarthas. Where is the space for Krishna? That is why as a devotee one needs to work so hard to remove this anger. Krishna has already given us a roadmap to Goloka, but there is a traffic jam in our heart with so many other anarthas. A devotee needs to consciously work on this and remove them. Because if we don't remove this anger, we can't grow spiritually. It's a big obstacle. Because we are on a certain level. From that level to go high, we need to remove this anartha. Otherwise, we cannot progress. We see in the pastime of Chatuskumaras, they were on such a high stage, Brahmavadis. But what happened? They could not go high from Shantarasa because of their anger. They got angry on whom? Chatuskumaras, they got angry on whom? They got angry on Jai Vijay. Prahlada Narasimhadeva Bhagavan ki Jai. The Chatuskumara, they got angry on Jai Vijay because they were not allowed to go inside the Vaikuntha to see the Lord, right? Of course, many instances we see that Lord exhibits anger, like we see in the Rama Avatara, the Lord gets angry on Sugriva. There's one more person the Lord gets angry on. Anybody can answer that? Lord Rama gets angry on Sugriva, right? And there's one more person Lord Rama gets angry on. Ocean God, yeah. Ocean God also he gets angry on. What about Lord Krishna? He gets angry on Bhishma Pitama. He got angry on Bhishma Pitama. What about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Jagai Madhai. What about Hanuman? He also got angry, right? And he burned the whole Ayodhya. And then we see even, Lanka, yeah, sorry. Not Ayodhya, Lanka. Slip of tongue. So, yeah, he burned the whole Lanka. So like that we see even Srila Prabhupada used to get angry sometimes, right? Just to rectify the devotees. So like this, yeah, anger is okay if it is directed to the right person at the right time, in the right situation, for the right purpose, and in the right proportion. That's very important, the proportion, right proportion. Like we see, Indra's anger was disproportionate. The Vrajavasis simply didn't do his worship. Okay, I'll kill you because you didn't worship me. That is disproportionate anger. He could have said, okay, I'm angry on you. I won't send rain and you won't have your harvest. But he said, I want to kill you. We see Durvasa Muni. What did Amrish Maharaj do? Just sipped a little water. I want to kill you. How can you sip the water? Simply was breaking the fast. Disproportionate anger. We see Vishwamitra. He got so angry on Ramba. How can you come and distract? He could have said, okay, don't disturb, just leave from here. I'll burn you to ashes. How can you disturb me? Right? So we see like so many such instances where the anger is disproportionate. The same thing here Dhruva is doing. We see even in the case of Rishi Shringi, disproportionate anger. What did Parikshit Maharaj do? He just put dead snake on his father. He could have said, okay, I'm very angry with you, or okay, some kind of a, but he said, you should die in 7 days. This disproportionate anger. Disproportionate anger is not healthy. Sometimes if there is a right purpose to the right person at the right time, the right situation, yes, sometimes, because as devotees, we can't always be passive. Neither we can be very aggressive. We have to be assertive. Sometimes something needs to be told, has to be told. At that time we can't be, no, I cannot. Yeah, but disproportionately getting angry is wrong. This anger actually comes from Rajoguna. When we are in Raja, when we are floating in Rajaguna, then this anger comes. So it comes from Rajoguna and takes us to hell. Because it's a gate for hell. So as a devotee, we should be so careful, because these pastimes in Bhagavatam, they're not only for relishing our mind, but they're also for us to be taken as lessons, how we should not get angry and how we should curb our anger and dovetail it in the right way. So why do we get angry actually? I thought today we can discuss a little bit, whatever time we have, on why does this anger come? Nobody wants to be angry, but why does this anger come? The one reason that anger comes is because of our unfulfilled desires. They say that Krodha comes from Kama. That's why the other name of Krodha is Kamanuja. Anuja means younger brother. Like we have Ramanuja, means Lakshman, who is the younger brother of Rama. Like that, this Krodha is a Kamanuja, younger brother of Kama. When we have a desire and it doesn't get fulfilled, then we get angry. So anger comes because of unfulfilled desires. Also, anger also comes because of unfulfilled expectations. I expected this. I wanted this to happen. I wanted him to do this service. I wanted him to come on time. I wanted him to do this, but he didn't do. I wanted a raise in my salary. It didn't happen. We get anger. Unfulfilled expectations. Unrealistic expectations. Sometimes we have unrealistic expectations. Sometimes the tree is a mango tree, but my expectation is I want lime from it, and I'll get angry. Why the lime is not coming? It has to come. I'll work hard. I'll put water. I'll do this. I will turn right side. I will pluck on Monday. We pluck on Monday or Tuesday, or you pluck or your wife pluck. It cannot, because it's a mango tree. It can't give you lime. Like that, we have unrealistic expectations sometimes from our relationships. Devotees, our spouse, children. Maybe they're not capable of that, but we have that expectation. That gives us anger. Why it's not happening? Sometimes the anger comes because of wrong assumptions. Something is not true, but it's your assumption, right? My personal life, I was once commuting from Hyderabad to Coimbatore, Vizag, Hyderabad, Hyderabad, Coimbatore. In the flight, there was one couple next to me. They had a young daughter. She was making a lot of noise. The mother was nicely sleeping. The father was taking care, changing diaper and all. I was getting very irritated because my luck is so bad. Every time I travel in flight, I carry Bhagavatam. I will read happily, no phone call, nobody will disturb me. But every time when I travel alone, I don't know why they put me in that place where there is a mother with a baby, and the baby will cry, and whole my plan will be flop. Now, of course, they're allowing us to select the seats, but initially it was not that they will allot us seat. I was like completely like, okay, forget about Bhagavatam, that babies, ooh, ah. But immediately I became so judgmental. I was looking at that lady and I was thinking, what a lady, happily she's sleeping. Husband, poor fellow, struggling so hard, 2 hours flight, changing diaper, feeding the baby's beating the father. So many things happened. At the end of it, all the trauma is over, 2 hours flight done. I took my cabin baggage. That man was also taking out the baggage. We just exchanged some greetings. So I was just telling that man that, you are such an amazing father. So he turned to me and he made a statement which was shocking. He said, yes, I'm a good father, but my wife is a better mother. I thought, what better in this? She was sleeping all the 2 hours. And then he explained to me that actually my child was sick last 3-4 days. He's on antibiotics. My wife hasn't slept for nights together. Just my child recovered. Now we are going back to our native place. It's just now in the flight that she's getting some rest. She's been working so hard last few days because my child was sick. I felt so ashamed of myself. In the 2 hours, I already gave her so many tags. Lazy, how she is, henpecked husband, what she's doing, that much culture is not there. Ghor Kali Yuga, what is happening to our... So many things, I felt so ashamed of myself. In 2 hours, I gave so many judgments to a completely innocent lady. There is no fault of hers. This is what happens to us. So many wrong assumptions. Just we see something on the face value and we will start making so many conclusions. He must be like that, she must be like that, he must be like that. We don't know what must be happening, why a particular person is behaving or reacting or responding in a particular way, in a particular situation. We don't know. Sometimes maybe their health is not good. Sometimes maybe their mind is not good. Sometimes maybe they're thinking something else. We are such a people, if we come inside the temple and we say Hare Krishna to some Mataji, and if she does not smile back also, we will think, so much ego, so much proud. I told her Hare Krishna, she did not tell me. I am so nice to her. 1,000 things we can think in a fraction of a second. Maybe she didn't even look at you. Or maybe she's in some other anxiety or something else. Maybe she's thinking. We don't give benefit of doubt. We make so many conclusions. That makes us anger, wrong assumptions, unrealistic expectations, wrong assumptions, unfulfilled desires. All this gives, and conditioning. Sometimes we are, just because of our previous experience, we just take things like that must be the thing, that's it, right? Like, there was this one bear in the zoo. You call it bear, right? The bear in the zoo, small baby bear. So they had made a small cage for the bear, 10 into 10. And the baby bear keeps walking. After some time, the bear grew in size. So they shifted the bear into a bigger cage. But the bear was so conditioned to walk 10 into 10. Even in the bigger cage, it was walking only 10 into 10. It was not more, because it became conditioned, only this much space I'm supposed to walk. Similar thing happens to us. We are conditioned to a particular way of thinking, and we will think in that way only. In every situation, we'll be very quick in making those conclusions. So conditioning is one a problem. Next is non-communication. Sometimes anger comes because we haven't communicated also with that person. We don't even know what's going on in their mind. The best would be to just go and talk and sort it out instead of making your own conclusions, right? I'm reminded of this one story in India. Am I fast? More so, okay. It's okay, till now you could complete. There was this couple who got newly married. So, in India especially, if they're newly married couple, at least for 6 months, wife will be very obedient. 6 months is guarantee. After that, we don't know. So for that 6 months, the whole relationship will be very sweet. The wife will be like, shall I do this? Shall I eat this? Shall I sleep now? Shall I take this? All that will be very, very sweet, After that, husband will be asking for the rest of the life. So this lady, she was like very sweet to the husband, but the husband was like a very dominating guy. So every time, he will tell her, hey, where is my hot water? Is it ready or not? If you don't give me right now, then I will. And she used to go, no, Prabhu, I'm just bringing it. Prabhu, don't get angry. Okay, where is my tea? Herbal tea, because we are in ISKCON. Where is my herbal tea? Come on, if you don't bring it, then I will. No, Prabhu, I'm just not bringing it. Prabhu, I'm just bringing it. It just went on for 1 month. Now this lady, she got very much sick of this, all the time her husband enters, she'll be shivering. So she went to her friend and said, every time my husband, he dominates me like this, I don't know what to do. Every time he'll say, I will do this, I will do. Then the friend was very wise. She said, do one thing. This time when he asked like that, if you don't do, you ask him, okay, if I don't do, then what? Just ask him, what is there? She said, okay. She collected all strength. The next day morning, her husband, just got up from the bed and started shouting on her. Where is my hot water? If you don't bring the hot water, then I will. This time she just mustered courage and she came out and she asked, if I don't give hot water, then what? He said, then I will take bath with cold water. This is what I was trying to tell you last 1 month. Now she said, oh really? I thought he's a very angry guy. He's a super sweet guy. He's just telling, if you can't bring, I will take cold water. What can be done? Non-communication. Maybe the person is not that bad after all. Just that the communication, you have misunderstood the person. And the anger arises because of that non-communication. Sometimes the anger arises because of non-acceptance. You're not able to accept Krishna's plan. Actually, whatever is happening in our life is either our plan or it is Krishna's plan. So sometimes if our plan does not work, then you should be more happy. If your plan works, you can be happy. If your plan doesn't work, become more happy because now Krishna's plan is working. Because in our life, there is no third person who can influence our life. Either you decide because of your karma what is going to happen, or Krishna decides for you. There is no third person who can decide what's going to happen in your life. That means imagine if this is what I wanted and it hasn't happened, that means now what Krishna wants is happening. And Krishna is more smarter than me. So that means every time that our plans don't work, we can be happy because Krishna has a better plan for us. So we get angry because of non-acceptance of Krishna's plan. Why is there fear? Why is there anxiety? There is fear and anxiety because we lack of faith on Krishna. If we have faith on Krishna and Krishna's plan, we'll have no fear. We'll have no anxiety because we know Krishna has a better plan. The other reason we get angry is because of ego. We think that everything should happen according to me, my way or the highway. Everything should happen according to what I want. And if it doesn't happen, then we get angry. We want everything to happen according to our likes and our dislikes. And we are not ready to accept other people's opinion. If you see in the Mahabharata, there is this famous episode where Ashwatthama is brought and now Krishna says he should be killed. Bhima says he should be killed. Yudhishthira says no, don't kill. Draupadi says don't kill. Now Krishna, he could have said that I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead, please follow my plan, don't argue with me. But everybody's opinion is taken, synthesized, and then finally they decide that let's not kill Ashwadhama, but maybe we remove his money. That way, when we insult a respectable person, then it's like killing only, right? So we see that how even though he's the Supreme Lord, he took everybody's opinion. But if we don't have that habit of taking others' opinion, we want things to happen as we planned according to our likes and dislikes, then we get angry if things don't happen that way. So one reason why we get angry is ego. The other reason why we get angry is because of the tendency to enjoy. We forget that Bhoktaram Yagyatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. This whole world is for Krishna's enjoyment, not our enjoyment. So what if some of our plans don't work? There's no reason for getting angry. And the other reason is we want to be controller. That tendency of being controller. We forget that Vasudeva is the controller. Whatever is happening in our life is according to Krishna's plan. And we don't have jurisdiction over everything in this world. In fact, Yamaraj, who is the lord of the death, Yamaloka, the main boss, even he doesn't have jurisdiction over all the jivas. In the pastime of Ajamila, Yamaraj is telling his Yamadutas, we don't have jurisdiction towards those jivas who are chanting Krishna's name. Don't touch them. We have jurisdiction only towards those who don't bow down their head to the Lord. But the devotees, don't touch them. So even Yamaraj, who is actually the boss of giving punishment, even his jurisdiction is limited. But why do we have a tendency to control everybody? If that tendency of controlling everybody is a Hiranyakashipu tendency. See, but even though Hiranyakashipu also at that time was the boss of the world, he could not control his son. We see what happened. Hiranyakashipu was so powerful that the Indra, the lord of the demigods, he used to take care of the horses in his stable. Agni and Vayu, they used to cut vegetables and do cooking. And Shani Devata used to be like a pedestal on his throne, under his throne. He used to keep leg on Shani and sit. And the sun and moon were like his servants. In the middle of the night, he'll get up and say, sun, come on, you rise now. In the middle of the day, he'll tell moon, now you rise. Okay, as you say, they used to rise. Like that, he was controlling all the 33 crore devatas. But he could not change his son. He could not convince Prahalad. And that gave rise to anger. If he would have accepted, he wouldn't have died. And Narsimdev would not have appeared. He could have happily ruled. He was blessed. Okay, my son is not convinced. Okay, you don't believe that I am the boss. Do whatever you want to do. At least rest of them are saying Hiranyakashipu ki. Huh? You are all Hiranyakashipu followers? Or? I say Hiranyakashipu, they say Jai. And that also in front of Narsimhadev in New Simhachalam. So they were like that, He could have said that, okay, at least all of you are following me, forget about Prahalad. Same thing is happening to us also. Our controlling tendency keeps expanding day by day. Initially, we think that I am control of myself. Then after marriage, I am a controller of my wife. Then children are born. The man starts thinking, I am the king, she is my queen, this is my kingdom, children are my citizens. I should control them, they should listen to me. Whatever I say is right. They have to follow me. And if the wife and the children are very submissive, then slowly he will expand his control. My colleagues should listen to me. The community should listen to me. The temple in which I am serving, they should listen to me. Whatever I am saying, they should do. And slowly they keep expanding. And if that expanding tendency increases after some time, what happens? They'll start controlling the strangers, unknown people, everything. I am reminded of this, in front of me only, in Vishakhapatnam. And the chief minister had come and, if the chief minister comes, there is this whole convoy. So they will stop you in different places in the street. You can't take your car. So we were all like, in the car waiting patiently because the convoy has to pass. One man, he got so angry, he came out from the car and he was like, taking the collar of the traffic policeman, is ready to beat. I want to take my car. I said, what is this, sir? I'll arrest you and put you in the jail. Everybody has to wait. The chief minister's convoy is coming. What has happened? That why is that anger coming? Because of the feeling of being controlled. I'm supposed to control everything. Nobody is supposed to, ask me to do anything. So that tendency is not good. So this is one thing, because of having the controller mindset. The other reason why we get angry is because of comparison. We are constantly comparing with others. See, the thing is, everybody in this world is made differently by the Lord, but we have that same expectation. For example, there are gender differences. The women, they think in different way. The men, they think in different way. The men will think with more logic and reasoning. The women are more of love and care. But the woman expects the men to be very loving and caring. It will not happen because they are rational thinkers. And the men, if they expect women to be very strong, they cannot. They'll be emotional and sentimental. They need lot of affection and pampering. If we understand that gender difference, then we will not get angry, because we will not have wrong expectation, right? Most of the time, the Matajis will complain that if I tell my husband on the way from the office, bring some vegetables, he will forget. Birthdays, he will forget. Some work you tell, he will forget. But the women, they will not forget. At a time, they can do 20 works. They can go to office, they can remember what's happening in the kitchen, they will remember what the husband said in 1975 in her sister's marriage, all the data they can remember. Husband, poor fellow, will be shocked how she remembers that. I don't even remember. Did I speak like that? Is it? He cannot even remember. There are gender differences, right? But if we accept that gender differences, we'll not be angry. We'll understand, oh, Prabhus will be like that only. They will not remember. Forget it, I'll tell somebody else, right? And if the Prabhus, if they are convinced, Matajis, they will be like that only. Better I speak with her softly, otherwise unnecessary. She will start Ganga from one eye and Jamuna from the other eye. Better I just be soft with her. She cannot understand. If they do that, then there will be no anger, right? Anger also comes because of wrong beliefs, wrong definition of success. Sometimes we have a wrong definition of success, and if we can't achieve that, we get angry. Okay, I will pause here. It's 8:47. I'm supposed to close the class now. It's 7:40. Okay, so I will pause it here. We discussed today on different reasons why we get angry. This is an incomplete class. We'll try to continue in the second session. Most probably tomorrow Bhagavatam class. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, we can do that, because I have another session at 3 to 5. If all of you are interested in this topic, then we can continue this topic 3 to 5 on what are the other more reasons for we getting anger and what are the solutions. The best part. How should we, we can't kill anger, but how can we dovetail anger, or how we can manage anger? So if you all like this topic, we can continue it 3 to 5. Or if 3 to 5 I take some other topic, then tomorrow's Bhagavatam class, we'll continue the rest of it, where what are the solutions to come out from this anger. So I'll pause it here midway, and if anybody has any questions, corrections, now the floor is open. Yes. I will repeat the question. Okay, so she's asking that one of her friend, when she gets angry, she starts crying. So what to do about it? So because anger is not our natural behavior, it's an unnatural behavior which we have acquired. So we ourselves are not able to accept it. That's why some other emotions also come out with it. Now, how to control that is our next subject, wherein I'll give you another 45 reasons or 45 ways we can control our anger, and in that this will be also covered. Thank you. Yeah, because of greed. Yeah. Oh, greed. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That is one reason. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, anger is also because of grief. And the fact that we are in grief is because we have forgotten our relationship with Krishna. If somebody is always conscious of their relationship with Krishna, there will be no grief because they will be seeing at the bigger picture in life. They will understand that my life is not between B and D, birth and death. I was born before, and even after my death, I will be continuing. So, whatever is happening to me, it's a temporary phase. So, when one isn't constantly conscious of Krishna by associating with devotees and reading scriptures, then they have a better perspective of looking at things. Then the so called grief may not exist. At the same time, it's not like we just spoke about Arjuna. Even though he heard Gita, he was in grief when Abhimanyu died. So, yes, it may still be there, but you will be able to recover from it very quickly because of the impressions of sadhana, because of constantly hearing, speaking, and associating with devotees. You'll be able to recover from it quickly. So, yes, one of the reasons for anger can be grief, and the solution is to be Krishna conscious and conscious of Krishna all the time and conscious of our relationship with Krishna and seeing the bigger picture, how things are temporary, everything is a passing phase. Like Prabhupada used to say, temporary inconveniences for permanent happiness. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much for such a wonderful class. Very inspiring. And I would like to ask you, I don't know, maybe you cover it later. It's not only destructive to be angry, but also to deal with someone who is angry. So I would like to ask you how to act or how to deal with someone who has anger.
Yeah, I'm going to cover this in details. The ill effects of anger, because sometimes we may think it's okay to get angry. I mean, like, it's not something that's going to come and pass. It's not like attending nature's call. Okay, I had the urge and I attended and it's done. It doesn't get done. There is so many things, repercussions of that. So in the next session, either at 3 or tomorrow morning, we'll discuss about the ill effects of anger. We'll discuss about how to manage anger, and we'll also how to deal with somebody if he is in anger. We'll discuss all this in details, step by step, in the next session. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's about it. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you very much. I have a very basic question, but it still is in my mind quite a lot. So when Dhruva Maharaj was asking why is it really the Lord's will? You know, it's all happening because Krishna wants it. So I was told that only in devotee's life it's happening because Krishna wants it. In a person's life, for example, for me, should I think that when something is really not happening as I want, is it really Krishna's will, or it's just because I have to rectify because of my karma? Or, like, I don't know in what way it's correct to think. So should we always really think it's Krishna's will, or should I think that anyway it's my karma, I have to do it? But then I doubt that does Krishna really want me to go through this situation? I mean, I don't know if I'm asking clearly right now, but I see sometimes a difference between it's because of my karma or it's because Krishna's will. In the end, of course, it's Krishna's will, but still, for me in that situation, I just, it's easier for me to believe, that's Krishna wants it, good. But then maybe it's not Krishna's way, maybe it's just because I did bad things and I have to go through it.
If something good is happening in your life, you think it's Krishna's will. If something is not happening right, then you understand it's my karma.
Okay.
That's a safe way.
That's the safe thing.
That's a safe way of dealing. But ultimately, even if something bad happening in our life, Krishna has orchestrated it to teach us greater lessons. Because if you just look back your life, whenever there were troubles in life, you learned better than during the good times. Right? During the good times, they just pass away so quickly. But when there's something we're not going through good times, we learn so many things and it makes us more wiser. So yes, it's ultimately Krishna's will, right? There is an immediate cause, there is a real cause, and then there is an ultimate cause. I'm sitting here on the Vyasasana, somebody comes and pushes me. There are three causes. One is the immediate cause. She has pushed me, she is the cause, immediate cause. And one is the real cause. My karma, I must have pushed her last time. And one is the ultimate cause. That is Krishna, his desire. He's removing the false ego. Oh, you don't deserve this. So, like that. So for everything in our life, we should think there are three causes. And ultimately, whatever Krishna does, as you said in your question yourself, that Krishna intervenes in every part of devotee's life, every moment. Everything happens under his direction. And he's making the master plan, the master map for a devotee. So we can always be safely thinking that it is Krishna's plan.
But the master plan is only for the devotees or for everyone?
Krishna plans for everybody.
For everyone.
Krishna plans for everybody. But only thing is, devotees are able to see that clearly, but the others can't.
Okay.
For example, there is this light. The light is there. The devotees switch it on. The karmis, they don't. But light will still be there. They are not able to see Krishna's intervention, whereas a devotee is able to understand it is Krishna's intervention. Now, in my house, I have two sons, grown up, of course, and my husband. So sometimes, when my children were young, they'll put the AC, very high, maybe 16, 18. In the middle of the night, they'll be like a freezing, but they can't understand. They'll just sleep like that. So I have a habit in the middle of night, I'll go and put a blanket on my elder son, put a blanket on my younger son, reduce the AC and all. When I do it on my younger son, he will completely not realize who did it. He's like happy, he gets the blanket, he'll sleep. My elder son, he realizes a blanket has come, but I don't know how, but blanket came. He has that feeling. And when I do it for my husband, he knows it's Nitaisevini putting the blanket on me. But there are three things here. Those who are completely materialistic, they don't even understand everything is given by Krishna. Oh, it has come, happy, chalo, enjoy. Those who are sadhaka, they understand, maybe my good karma, maybe this, maybe that, something is coming. Those who are devotees, they can easily see this is Krishna's hand. Krishna is doing this. They can see Krishna's hand in everything. Like I was giving example, my Prabhu, his eyes are wide open and he can see me doing it. A devotee can see that Krishna is doing it. But for everybody, Krishna is only doing it, whether they can see it or they can't see it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay?
Yes.
Shall we close it? Anybody else has any other questions? We close it for today? Thank you. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dear parents, thank you for coming. So prasadam is now downstairs in the main prasadam room for the adults, and in the